So, we're going to make a new beer.
Yeah.
What are we going to make?
We're going to make a good beer.
A good beer. Where did the inspiration for the new beer come from, Alex?
It came from my favorite beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which
is Busch Light.
Busch Light.
Yeah.
Last time we did this 10 days ago, 11 days ago, however long it's been since we've been on, we actually tasted some Busch Light, and it was fresh and it was crispy, and even I enjoyed it.
And it was an inspiration. That's what it was.
Yeah, it got me thinking as we were drinking it. I was like, this is not heavy. Comparing them, and this is what happened. We drank Mainline, and we drank Busch Light at the same time. And comparing them side by side made me realize just how not light Mainline is. So we're going to try our hands at actually making a light beer. We put the recipe together yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Do you remember what we're going to do?
Yes, we're going to have some Pilsner in there, and we're going to have some corn. Dextrose.
Dextrose, corn sugar.
Corn sugar.
Corn sugar. So I think that's the marketing that Busch Light is doing.
Yeah.
Whether they're using corn syrup or corn sugar, I don't think it matters, but I really have my doubts that they're using actual corn.
Yeah, I doubt that.
I mean, it's cheaper. It's got to be cheaper to just use a sugar, and to get it as light and as flavorless, I think it has to be a corn sugar or corn syrup. But because those products are made out of corn, you can say it's made with corn, right?
Yeah, you can.
And that's 100% just marketing.
It's a corn beer.
Right. Throw a picture of a corn cob on the side of a can and say that it's made with corn, and sell it to the heartland of America as, you guys made this beer. That's good marketing.
It is.
Even though I'm not real fond of
mismarketing like that. Yeah. Yep. With our new recipe, we do not have rice in there.
There is no rice. We're going to use dextrose. We're going to thin it out. We're going to make it crispy. And we're going to... Originally, I was thinking I wanted 40% of the fermentables to come from the dextrose. But when we threw that recipe together in Brewfather...
It's kind of coming higher. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, we're at 25% because I didn't want a 5 or 6% light beer. I wanted it 4, or maybe even a touch under 4. I think it's saying right now it's going to be 4.3%, which I'm okay with. And I think actually Busch Light touts it to be 4.3. So we're right there in that ballpark. What I would actually like to do before we get it brewed is take a gravity reading on a can of Busch Light.
Oh, yeah. That'd be
and just see where that finishing Play-Doh on that stuff is. Warm it up and get the CO2 out of it and run it through that density meter. Just because with as much dextrose as we have in that recipe right now, it's supposed to be like so dry and so thin. And I'm a little bit concerned that there's not going to be any body to it.
Yeah.
It'll be like drinking a seltzer. That's my concern right now.
If we do have that, we can just add some fruit to it, and then we get like
a fruity seltzer.
A
kind of a barley-based fruity seltzer. I mean, that's not a horrible idea.
If everything goes wrong, then
right,
throw some fruit in it, cover it up.
What do we... I think we have... I mean, we do have cherry. We have a box of cherry.
We have some lime.
We do have some lime, and that was actually something I was thinking about as I was driving back from Scottsbluff today, is about doing that mainline lime. Or maybe even like splitting this new experimental batch in half and, having our Nick Ultra and like Nick Ultra Lime or however it is, whatever name we come up. I think, in Brewfather's named whatever right now.
Yeah, it is.
Because naming beers is the hardest part of owning a brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Everything goes wrong. Just fruit it up.
Fruit it up. That's exactly it. I mean, it can't be so horrible if it's just disgusting. Don't waste more money on it and just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Right? But if it's not quite up to our expectations, then we can make it a little bit better. Maybe throw some lactic acid in it, throw some fruit in it, and you can get it out the door that way for sure. What happens when you ferment too much dextrose?
What does happen?
I have no idea. I think you can get some pretty gnarly yeast flavors. You're going to run into acetaldehyde. I think it will probably be the biggest thing. I think the yeast would probably give up and be lazy and not reabsorb all the precursors to ethanol production, which is where you get that acetaldehyde. But, and this is why, I mean, 40% I say kind of a random number, not really a random number, because I did get that acetaldehyde in that Busch Light last week. You know, but it was very subtle, and it wasn't unless you aerated it on your tongue that you could taste it. I very strongly think that that's where it came from. It was just that really high percentage of
That
corn
dextrose.
sugar or corn syrup or whatever it is that they're using.
They're corn-based
Yep.
product.
Yeah, I really strongly believe that's where it comes from. So 40% was just a number I kind of pulled out of thin air. And when we ran it through the numbers, like 40% got us to 5% ABV, and that's not something. So we cut it down, and we're sitting at 25%, which I'd actually like to be a little bit higher. But, you know, people are making seltzers, and that's all a seltzer is. The seltzer is just dextrose.
Really?
It's just fermented dextrose. You have to add a little bit more nutrients because you're not getting any zinc. You're not getting any of the yeast nutrients from the barley because you're not using any barley. You're just using straight glucose.
And it's just fruited up from that point, basically.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to fruit it, otherwise it's just...
Yeah.
My biggest thing about seltzers is there's no body. And I can't drink something if there's no body. Like, I don't know. It just feels weird to me, which is why I've never done a seltzer.
I've heard it described as like TV static.
TV static?
Yeah, if you were to taste a TV static, because just that.
Just a plain seltzer?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I got you.
You know,
Yeah.
you
It's
know.
just kind of like nothing, but it's very carbonated.
Yes,
And it's like
yes.
bouncing off your tongue. Mm-hmm. That 100% makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why you see so many of them are fruited because, you know, just seltzer water, it's just carbonated water. And now you've got, you know, a little bit of ethanol in there as well. Not my thing.
Not your thing.
Not my thing. I don't know. I need that feeling on my tongue. I need that body. Comparing them side by side, Mainline's got a little too much body.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it until we did that.
Until you drink some Busch Light.
Until I drank Alex's favorite beer.
It's good though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's not terrible at all. Now, had it been like an older batch, maybe it would have been different. But man, you bought some fresh stuff for sure.
Sells well around here.
It does. Do you have any other ideas about things that you'd like to do down there?
Just learning. I mean, I like learning and trying these new things.
Right.
But you can't just do that all the time because that's not how it works.
Right, we do have
in
a
the business.
production.
Yeah.
So we did talk a little bit about what we need to do. Do you recall what it is that we need to do after we're done having fun this weekend?
Yeah, we need to do mainline,
Yep.
strawberry.
Strawberry.
Yep.
There was one more. I thought we had 3 beers we needed to make.
Mainline, strawberry. What was the other one? Hazy.
Yeah, we're
Hazy
getting
was
low on
getting-
that hazy.
Hazy's getting low.
And we are trying to push 3 beers out the door this week. So we're going to have 3 holes.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to come up with something new because I don't have anything new. Like this experimental batch will be one of them. So we've got to come up with 2 other beers at some point in the next few weeks on top of the
Or
beers
other-
we need
yeah.
to get done. We're going
It's
to
gonna
be
be
busy.
yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be a little busy now.
Good. I like it when there's stuff to do down there.
Me too. We've been a little,
Lax.
Yeah.
Because it's January.
Yeah.
But, Alex,
I know it's not time to be lax because now we're gonna be
dry January is over and people are going to start
yeah,
drinking again.
Yep. Senta says sour beer.
Sour beer.
Yeah, I've heard plenty of the sour beer.
Have you?
Yep.
People want the
Yeah.
sour beers?
I think it's a little early still. What's the timeline looking on it?
I try and do the margarita one for Cinco de Mayo. And that's usually kind of when we kick off the sour beers, which would be the beginning of May, meaning we have to brew it the beginning of April. So we still got 2 months.
Yeah. 2 months to fill those 2 spots and then
Yeah. And then get rid of something else.
yeah.
I would be willing to bet White Ale will be gone.
Yeah. White Ale's almost gone.
And I would be willing to bet that 719 Brown would be gone. Mm-hmm. So now we're looking at 5 spots. 5 spots?
Yeah.
There's no way.
I think you're right.
Pumpkin? Mint.
Yep, it's gonna be gone.
There was another one. The Depot.
Yep, Depot's about there.
White Ale and 719. Holy cow.
We got a lot of work to be. We're still in the
Just start thinking about it. January sucks. Yeah, wait till you experience July, Christian.
July sucks.
July sucks.
In a different way, though.
It does. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
The Depot is actually on sale right now, $1 off pints, until the end of the week. And when it's gone, it's gone. And I don't think I'll be making it again.
You're going to make some people upset.
My mom.
Yeah, exactly.
My mother right there, who's just telling me the Depot.
Was the Depot start thinking about making more, or?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe she was talking about one of those beers that are going to be gone or about to be gone. I'm not sure. But when it's gone, and I don't think I'm going to do it again, just because it's taking so long to get through it.
Yeah.
And maybe I just brewed it incorrectly this time, and next time we could do it better.
I was gonna say that's one of those that you could the time you bring it back, if you ever do, wouldn't sell a lot better than having it on constantly. You know,
Yeah.
like if you give it some time, and
If
then
we
bring
make it
back.
disappear for a little while and then bring it back and like make a big show of it.
Yeah,
It's also one of those beers that's hard to do consistently,
yeah,
batch after batch after batch, because we do use garden fresh jalapenos. And I mean, jalapenos by themselves are inconsistent.
yes, they
This
are
pepper
very,
and that pepper off of the same plant growing right next to each other, completely different. So trying to get that flavor to match up is kind of difficult, and getting your heat profile the same. You know, and we've only done this beer, 3 times? I'm not a jalapeno beer expert by any means. We'd have to go talk to Dan at Kincaid.
But
Yeah.
Rich has a jalapeno cream ale, maybe I think I saw, or something like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Down in Ogallala?
Yep.
Ah. I still have never been in there.
Other than that,
Other than,
Or
just
a
like
walkthrough.
dropping in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never sat down and had a
I
beer.
had a beer. Yeah.
Yep.
Neither have I.
I've had a couple of his beers. I've had them at at Papa Moon and at random events that we've been at. They were at Powell's, and I met them for the first time in Scottsbluff when we did that thing in June. So I've had several of his beers, but I've never actually sat at the bar and
I had a beer
right.
in the library.
Right. And just asked him relentless questions.
Maybe we should go and make a grain venture.
I have been in the place. When we went and served at the festival in North Platte, we stopped at Ogallala and kind of just crashed the party. We literally
Rich was trying to get ready.
Yeah,
to
Rich was
leave.
trying to get ready, and I sent him a text as I was walking up to the door, and I was like, "Are you here? Are you busy? Because I'm here."
We took a walk through. It's small back there.
It is. He doesn't have much room to work with, but he did get everything like packed in there, and I do understand the organization that he did put into it and why he put things where he needed to do. Fun fact: Rich is seriously looking about getting a canning machine.
Oh, unfortunate for Rich. There's not a whole lot of room back there for
Right.
a canning machine.
But you can't base the size of our canning machine.
yeah,
I mean,
we got a very large canning machine.
it is overly large. Newer machines are much more compact. Whether or not he's going to spend the money on a newer, more compact machine, or if he's going to do like we did and try and cut the costs and get something used. I hope he gets something used, because new machines are just so outrageously priced. But when you don't have space, then you kind of have...
You're limited on what you can do. With
Right,
that,
you have to make those concessions. His basement setup is cool. I've never been in the basement.
Yeah.
Literally, it was walk in, I'm going to look at your stuff. Okay, I'll let you get ready. I'll see you over there. And
Yeah.
we were probably there 5 minutes.
Yeah. We didn't get a real detailed look around.
Yep. But
I do like the setup.
it was actually Alex's first brewery.
It was. And it made me happy on how much space we have.
Yes.
Because I'm still tripping over hoses and everything where we're at, and we have lots of room.
Well, think about this. If you were more compact, for instance, Rich's place, he doesn't need super long hoses.
Yeah, that's That's true.
He could have, in fact, he could probably have 6 hoses that are all. We could take our 2 big long ones and cut those in half. Now we have twice as many hoses.
Yeah.
And you just size them appropriately. Here's one hose. This one fits from here to here, and that's what it is. And you mark it with a colored tape so you know that this one goes here. But I'm going to go into fermenter 4. So now I need the blue hose, and this one is measured out exactly, and this is the one that I'm going to use every single time. And I think there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
In fact, you could take that blue hose and hang it on that fermenter,
knowing
that this is the only time this is ever going to get used.
When you had your hoses, did you measure them and get that, or you just knew you needed some long hoses?
So when we started, we actually got one big roll of hose. It was 100 feet. I think we got 100 feet of hose, and we ended up making 4 hoses out of 100 feet. They used to be longer. We've since cut the ends off because we do, we have that, the end piece actually just slips inside the hose, and you got that clamp that holds it on. But occasionally we clip the ends off just to get rid of the frayed edge.
Yeah.
And, that's where all the junk's going to build up, is right there on the edge. So you discard that part, and your hose slowly gets shorter and shorter and shorter. And we actually had a shorter hose. When we clipped it off, I think the second time, it's now too short to do anything with. And that's actually the hose that now runs behind the HLT into
background.
Because it's just too small to do anything else with. So it's just become a dedicated water hose. And eventually we're going to have to get new hoses.
Yeah.
But, oh, man, they're so expensive.
I can bet, yeah.
It's like $1,500 for 100 feet of hose.
That is crazy.
Yep.
And that's a lot of work to go through and cut them and get that all set up and clamp them. A hef.
I think Chad Toogood is just trying to give us ideas about
He is. He's just giving us
what we need to do. An ESB. Okay, so we just drank an ESB.
Yes, we did. We did. What was it?
Was that orange can that was like terrible?
Yeah, I remember it wasn't
It was
good,
a year old.
It was the date that was why it wasn't good.
Dry Dock. It was by
Yes,
Dry Dock,
yes.
wasn't it? Yep. It was awful. Yep. Hefeweizen, I don't know. Maybe a Hefeweizen is a good idea because
I've also heard that in the tap room.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it since day one, but
I'm sure you have.
trying to sell those yeast-derived flavors has always been a fear of mine. But Alex's beer is...
So maybe it's what
It's
people
fire.
want.
It's fire, and maybe that's what maybe we are going to be a Belgian brewery instead of a multi-brewery. 10-foot hose, $300.
Yes.
Dude, it's so stupid how much they cost.
Yeah, but you need them. That's the thing. Is
Yeah.
you have to.
What else are you going to do?
Yeah.
And it's all food safe rubber. It's white on the inside. I'm pretty sure they make food safe hoses here in town out of Parker. I've extruded white rubber before. I've made those hoses. It's not fun.
Yeah, I'm sure. There's a lot of work that goes into it. That's why it cost.
Yeah, it's costly because it's specialized.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
And
because
what else are you gonna do?
Not because of how much work goes into it. Because literally, the hydraulic hose that goes on a tractor is the same amount of work as this food production hose.
yeah.
There's no difference. As far as you're concerned in a production setting and running the machines that make the hose, it's all exactly the same. None of it matters. But this is far more specialized, and you don't use as much of it. John Deere is going through tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of feet of hydraulic hose every single year, where the food industry is probably going through, several thousand feet of hose. So you make your margins up
Yeah.
and don't sell the volume. Food safe vinyl for anything that doesn't get hot liquid.
What is that?
Just a different kind of hose. Yeah, a vinyl hose.
What about a grapefruit IPA? I know who wants that.
Who wants that?
They're in the tap room. They were in the tap room.
Who? When? Today?
Yeah. When I dropped some food off, they were. Who do you think there wants a grapefruit IPA?
I don't know. Nobody drinks IPAs. So I don't think we'll be doing IPAs.
Yeah. It was Clint
Clint?
Robinson. Because
Oh.
he's had a very good grapefruit.
Clint was not there when I was there.
Oh. He was the one that he told me about the grapefruit IPA.
That he had where?
I forgot where he had it.
Yeah.
But he said he really liked it.
That's what I love about these ideas that people I had this really awesome beer at this place.
Make it.
Why don't you make it? Right. Vinyl hoses are cheaper than rubber hoses, but I don't know if I trust vinyl hoses. I trust them for the things that don't involve product, blow off tubes and gas. I use them for gas lines, but anything that's gonna like get product in it, it kind of worries me. We do have them on our couplers, on our keg filling couplers, but even those lines get replaced quite often.
Yeah, because over time they do.
They discolor.
Yeah, and
and it doesn't matter how well you try and clean them. Like you still get that discoloration, and if that color seeping into the vinyl, what else is seeping into the vinyl? And that really worries me. And, not only what's seeping into the vinyl, but what in the vinyl is seeping out
into the product.
So I try and avoid those vinyl hoses as far as product
and moving
as much as possible. Yeah. I would feel safer with silicone, but even that, like, I don't know. What's food safe?
Yeah.
I mean, what makes, even, I don't know. It's the rubber hoses that we use to move beer around, the big orange hoses, like those are made out of rubber. How food safe is it really?
Yeah.
Can you make a Pliny the Younger? I cannot make a Pliny the Younger. I'm horrible at making IPAs. Pliny the Younger is probably one of the most in demand for IPAs. It's
what style IPA?
Pliny the Younger, I believe, is a double IPA. I know Pliny the Elder is a double IPA. Let's look right now.
And by who?
Russian River. Russian River. Now, I would like to drink some Russian River beer, but not the IPAs. I would like to drink the sours.
Sours. Where are they located?
In California.
Okay.
Nowhere around us. So they release this yearly, I believe, and people literally line up for days
to get some of
to buy a bottle.
Really?
Yep. 10.2% limited release. To be released in person at both pubs, on tap, and in bottles March 21st through April 3rd, 2025.
Yeah, they have a very small time that they're selling those.
Crazy. I've seen lines, and I've seen people talk about it. Apparently, like, it's
the best IPA ever invented.
I don't know. I think at this point, the hype train has got to be, like, taken over. Right? Because I've had some beers that are like, oh, my goodness, this is the most amazing beer ever. And you drink it, and it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. You've had it before.
It's not spectacular.
Yeah.
It's not worth waiting in line for. Utopias. You hear it about Bourbon County Stout, that Goose Island barrel-aged stuff. Makes, a huge splash every year when it comes out. But I'm not an IPA guy, so.
Yeah, and neither am I, so.
Probably wouldn't be my thing. Yeah. And I'm horrible at making IPAs.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm very good at it. I think if I was better at it, then they would sell better.
Maybe, but I don't think... I don't like IPAs, and I don't know if there's a whole lot of people...
Well, maybe you don't like IPAs because I've never made you a good IPA.
Maybe that's... I've tried some IPAs you had, though, and I didn't like...
Yeah, those are all garbage, man. We got old, nasty IPAs. You want to try one?
No, I'm good. I need like a fresh IPA out of the tap, huh?
I have a couple with your names on it next time I come home. Is that Pliny the Younger or just any random IPA?
If you're safe keeping your...
How old is this Pliny the Younger? Because they're about to release it. You can't be drinking year-old Pliny the Younger. You have to drink IPAs fresh.
Yeah, I have learned that.
Yes. All right, Alex. Well, we're going to make the ultralight beer.
Yes.
Nick Ultra.
Nick Ultra. I like it.
I think it's a horrible name, but I don't know what else to call it. Experimental Batch 3. How about that?
Yeah, okay.
And then when we split it in half and put lime in it, we can call it Experimental Batch 3B.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you're going to write all that on the board and try to...
Well, Vicente can write it.
That's what I would say, too. I don't want to be the one writing that.
I'm the one that wrote 719 on the board.
I guess I haven't looked that close.
Let's mainline. Okay, so ultralight, mainline, strawberry. We're probably going to have to do strawberry first because the lager yeast is going to be busy.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
So let's do the new beer, Saturday. Then we'll do strawberry, which I don't have any strawberries. So maybe we should not do that one next either. Well, I need to order stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. I need to order wheat so we can do White Ale Express and yeast for that beer.
Some BW20.
Yes. There was one more beer we were going to make. What was it going to be, Alex?
I don't know.
We just talked about it yesterday.
It's been 24 hours since yesterday.
It can't be Beam because we just did
No,
Beam.
yeah, no, it's not Beam. I'm pretty sure it was Hazy. Hazy was getting low.
Maybe it was Hazy. We can do Hazy. Do we got K97?
I think we have one or two left.
Ooh, you know what else gets K97?
What?
The Depot.
Oh no, can't make the Depot. Shucks.
All right, well, I think that's about all I've got. What about you?
Yeah, it was a good little shorter than last time.
Little catch up.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. Trying to edit a 2.5 hour
Rambling session
is not very much fun. It took me a long time to get through it. In fact, I didn't even do a whole lot. All I did was like cut out me coughing last time, and I said to hell with all the pauses and trying to make this pretty because it's not going to work. So when are we going to do this again?
When
are we going to have a schedule for the people out in?
I want to have a schedule for the people out there.
Okay,
and I like Wednesdays.
You like Wednesdays? Yeah. All right.
Does Wednesdays work for you?
Wednesdays work for me.
Alrighty.
So next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Do you have a time?
I don't have a time. That's anytime after 5.
Do you have a rough idea of a time you'd like to start? Putting you on the spot, and it's going to be
7.
recorded
Let's
for
do
the
7.
people.
Let's
7?
just stick with a 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
Wednesdays.
Next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, Brew Guys Live. And at this point, we're only going to have 3 weeks, and we'll be able to do it over on our own page. Mm-hmm. I think March 2nd's the day. Yeah. So that's it for me. I'm Nick.
I'm Alex.
And we're the Brew Guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. See you next time.
Bye.